Hello and welcome to the studio. I'm going to do something a little bit different today, a little bit of a different format. I think my time has been a little bit crazy and I haven't really made the time, or haven't been able to make the time to really make a how-to video, tutorial video. There is a lot behind the scenes that goes into doing that, and I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to kind of do a, hey, come on into the studio and we'll have a chit chat while I work. So, excuse me, I thought I'd just give a little update about what I've been doing. I'm just plugging in my burner here. And what the past few months have been like. It's now September, and I don't know when my last what my last video I did was. I think, gosh, I can see it on here. My last full-length video was about a month ago. And I don't know, I have lots of ideas. It's just making the time to get everything really organized, and there's always something in the way. And like a text. Hang on a minute. Okay, so I just changed the camera angle here just so that you can see what I'm working on, and this is just a butterfly on a small gourd. And I'm testing my heat, which I always do. I have tons of these little pieces that I test my heat on. See, some of them get really used up. So I just want to make sure that my heat isn't burning too fast. So I've been thinking about a few things. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about today, really, because I didn't make a plan, which is strange for me because I'm a plan person. I'm somebody who likes to write things down and make lists for my days, make lists for my weeks, make lists for the month with goals and this and that and this and that. And obviously my days do not go, just like everybody else, as planned. There's lots of distractions. There's lots of things that come up that I didn't expect, and so I'm not really sure where I was going with that, but yeah, I'm a planning person, but I didn't plan really much of what I was going to talk about. I'm just going to kind of see how things go. One of the things I was thinking about talking about is just starting a YouTube channel and why I started this channel and why I'm continuing to do this channel. It's not really, it's not benefiting me in any way as far as monetary gains. I'm not monetized for this channel. It would be nice, but I don't really foresee that happening. Even if I do get the watch time that is required and all that, I don't think I'll make much, even when I do, even if someday, I think I will someday. I think everybody does at some point as they continue. It's not something that I'm pushing for. It's just I'm doing this because I want to. I started the channel during COVID because a lot of people did things like that during COVID, right? Because you couldn't work. A lot of people couldn't work, and I couldn't work either. My shows were canceled. my classes were canceled, and I mean, I could make online sales, but that was it. And someone had suggested to me, you know, why don't you do online classes? And I thought, well, that's nice and all, but I've never done that before. I really don't know the first thing about it. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll just do some free tutorials online and just kind of get a feel for it. So I started my channel with that in mind. And I mean, that has helped me get a little more comfortable in front of the camera. I'm still not totally comfortable in front of the camera. I don't, you know, I mean, I'm pretty self-conscious, and like a lot of people, I think a lot of people are, and they're self-conscious about, you know, what you sound like, what you look like, and, you know, and getting everything just perfect. And I've kind of learned and grown that it's not going to be perfect, and no matter what, I'm never going to look the way I really want to look. It doesn't really matter. Nobody really cares anyway, unless they're really shallow, and so be it then. So anyway, I started it for that reason, to just be able to teach when I couldn't teach. I do love to share what I'm doing with art, with Gourd art. A lot of people have questions about that, because it's not totally unusual anymore. It was when I first started. It's gained in popularity, but people still have questions about what I do, and just even working with pyrography and the mixed media. It's not that usual for where I live. A lot of times I'm the only Gourd artist at the show, or there might be one other. I'll turn that up a little. So, but why do I keep doing it? Because now the shows are back. The classes, in-person classes, are all running now, and yet I am still taking time, though not as much time as I'd like, because I just not, I don't think I'm really planning well enough. Like I said, there's always a distraction. It's like, oh, I just want to get to work. I don't want to set up the camera. I don't want to get the lighting right. I don't feel like doing this or that. And so I just start working, and then as I'm working, I'm thinking, you know, I really should have just set up the camera. And then not even always knowing what to talk about. I mean, what do I even talk about? So anyway, if you're around this long and listening to me ramble, thank you for hanging out. So I guess the reason why I continue with this channel is, well, for one thing, I can reach more people who are interested in Gourd pyrography, and I may even expand this channel into doing some other types of artwork, because this isn't the only art that I do. I like watercolor. I love drawing. I like illustration, and I like doing abstract. Some abstract watercolor has been helpful to me to loosen up a little bit. So, but the gourds, that's what I've been doing as my business, basically, and I think that's what people have the most questions about. But I continue doing it because I like to share, and I like to get messages from people that when they tell me, oh yeah, I'm just getting started, and just kind of getting that feedback of excitement from people when they start working on gourds. I think that's just really rewarding to me, and so that's what I get out of it. That's what I get. So if you have messaged me or left a comment, I thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, it really encourages me to continue. So here's my butterfly so far. I'm just going to use this shader. Let's see if we can, this is the shader that I'm using. It's an Optima bent shader. I'm not really somebody who promotes different brands, but I do like this one. There are a lot of good brands out there. They're all kind of the same. I think the big difference with me is some of them are new, some of my tips are newer than others, and this is one of my newer ones. So I tend to favor this one because it's not as worn down as some of the older ones that need replacing. So I tend to grab this one a lot. They do wear down over time, especially if you use them as often as I do. So yeah, I hope you are doing well, and that that you are finding ways to be creative, because I think all of us have creativity. I believe that. I truly do believe that. I know some people claim that they don't, but that's just because maybe they were not encouraged, or life just has gotten in the way of it and it wasn't important to, I don't know. I don't really know why some people claim they don't have creativity. They do. And whether it comes out in doing artwork or comes out in baking a cake or planning a party, or, you know, there's all different ways to be creative. So it just makes me sad when people say that, because I don't like to hear people talk down about themselves. I guess I do it too about different things, but I do think that everybody has something to offer in life. So I should really just take a dose of my own medicine, right? Because that's one of those things that, like when I sat down to film this, I thought, well, I don't really even know what I'm going to talk about. Who's even going to sit and listen to me ramble on about the stream of consciousness that is going through my head? And I'll probably say something stupid anyway, and then I'll regret it. But I figure I'm just going to let the camera roll as I'm working and see how things go. So I'm not much of a social media person. If you follow me on social media, I apologize for being MIA a lot. I generally post things just when I feel like it. I'm not consistent with it. And we're always told, be consistent, even with the videos. Be consistent, but I'm not consistent. I am definitely the kind of person that will hear the advice and then go, well, I'm not doing that because it doesn't fit my life. I'm not doing a video a day. I'm not doing a post a day. I don't care, I guess. I guess I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Quality over quantity, I guess. And if I have a lot of good things to offer, then I will. And if I don't, I don't. But like I said, a lot of times I'll think I could video something, but then the time it takes to get things set up, by the time I get things set up, I'm probably not going to want to do what I set out to do in the beginning anyway. So what I'm doing now is, I don't always approach every gourd the same with my pyrography. Sometimes I do all my lights in midtones and then go in with my darks. Right now I'm kind of mapping out where all my darks are, and I'm not making them as dark as I could at the get-go. I usually, it's dark-ish. I will go around them again. And these monarch butterflies have all these little spots, so I am just diligently going around every little spot. And that's why I penciled them in. That way I can remember where they're supposed to be and not be referring to the photo again and again and again. We did not have any milkweed come up this year. We planted milkweed last year and it never came up this year, and I thought this was supposed to be kind of invasive, which we wanted invasive actually, because the place where we planted it is a slope and there's a lot of erosion, and we're trying to plant things that will come back every year that doesn't require a lot of care because it's not safe to be on this slope, but we don't want it to keep eroding. So we're trying to find things to plant, and I really wanted to have plants up there that would be beneficial to the butterflies and bees and hummingbirds and, you know, all that. So they grew for one season and then didn't come back. I don't know why. But that was hugely disappointing to me because I really loved seeing the monarchs. We do have a butterfly bush up on the slope, and so we do have some monarchs that go to that. Mostly it's the swallowtails, and we get a fair amount of the clear-wing hawk moths. They're the snowberry, I don't know which kind they are. I think it's the snowberry hawk moth. And they are really, really cool. But then a storm came through and it broke the bush in half, so we're hoping that when we trim it down this fall, it can maybe get a little repair and thicken up a little bit. It's hard to see what the damage is because of the way it fell, and we can't really get up there at the moment. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a video, if I just said this in a blog post or newsletter. By the way, if you're not getting my newsletter, I invite you to go to my website and sign up for it. I'll let you know when I have a new video, which if you're subscribed you'll know that anyway, but if I have a blog post, because I do occasional blog posts, if I have a show, when I have new work on my website available for sale, when I have new online classes, which I do have some online classes that you can pay for. There's not many, but I do have some, and they're on Gourd pyrography and doing some Celtic knotwork, which is another interest of mine. but I do have it applied to gourds. So, because I know you can find a lot of that for working on paper, but there's a little bit different with working on gourds. Maybe I'll put some videos up from those classes so you can have a little preview at some point. I really need to be more than one person to get all this stuff done that I want to do. Do you ever feel like that? There's just so much, and it can get overwhelming sometimes, and that's when I just start to not do anything because I'm overwhelmed with too much. But anyway, I'll leave some links below in the description if you're interested in any of those things. You can go check them out. So I do not remember what it was I was talking about. I'm trying to stay on a topic, at least for a little bit. I think I was talking a little bit about social media, that I'm not very good at social media. And I think maybe part of the reason is my age. I don't know. I'm Generation X, so I grew up with Atari. I wasn't very good at video games, so it didn't really stick with me. And I didn't have a personal computer, until I was in college. And even then, I wasn't all that interested in it. I didn't really see a purpose. It did some neat things. I tried to learn like graphic design, and that didn't really hold my attention. I really like drawing by hand. So really the things that interest me with technology now is like doing the videos, because I think I see a purpose for it. I don't really see a purpose for just always posting things about myself or about my work on a platform where people are just scrolling through, they see it real quick and then they click away or they give it a like, and it doesn't really have an impact. And I don't know, it didn't do anything for me, and it didn't really do anything for anybody else, so I don't really see a point. I'll do it now and then. Usually when it's around time of a show is when I get a little more active, because I start to share some of my new work, and where you can see it in person or purchase it. If I were better at it, maybe I would have more people know about my stuff, but I don't know. In the end, my marketing is what it is. So I would say don't take too much business advice from me, because I am not one of those people who has a good business plan. I kind of just fly by the seat of my pants, and my main concern is that my work is quality. I want to always be learning with my art. I want to make the best that I can, because I enjoy doing it, and I want other people to enjoy it too. I want to make work that's beautiful, and that's what's more important to me than, I guess, promoting and all that. But not to say that I don't do it at all. I do it a little bit. I'm just not much of a salesperson, I guess. but that's okay. But, you know, I've always wanted to be an artist, but I never really thought it was going to be something that I would make a lot of money doing. And I know some people do. They have these great business plans and, you know, they get sponsors for their videos and all that stuff. And I mean, even some of the things I can't even figure out. Like, for instance, Amazon. I tried to be an Amazon affiliate. I signed up for it and then I couldn't figure it out. So I eventually got kicked off it because I didn't have any sales. Well, I didn't have any sales because I didn't even know how to really get the thing up and running. So it was just too time consuming. So I never continued with it. So if you see links, if I put a link down to buy something, I get nothing for it because I couldn't figure it out. So don't worry about it. Yeah, but I always wanted to be an artist. That was really the only thing I was ever very good at. And I thought if I could just do well enough so that I can continue doing art, then that would just be awesome. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. So I need to put these spots in, otherwise as I'm burning I'm not going to know where they're supposed to go. And yes, I always do all of my drawing directly on the Gourd. I don't use printed patterns. I don't make my own patterns and transfer them. I just do not like working with transfer paper. But there's times when that's necessary. I always use transfer patterns in my classes because not everybody has the time or skill or desire to draw everything by hand. For me, it's faster than trying to transfer something, but I do a lot of drawing. I draw a lot in my sketchbook, both from life and from photos. I think that's one thing with technology that is really, really great right now is having a camera with you all the time. You can always take pictures and it goes right to your camera roll and then you can access it. You don't have to search through files. I mean, that's how I used to do it. I used to have, well, actually I still do. I have boxes of photos that I took and printed, and most of them are out of focus or bad lighting because I'm not really a very good photographer. And as much as I would like to take all of my reference photos, I kind of stink at it. I took photography 3 times. I took photography classes and never really did well in them. I didn't actually fail any of them, but I came close to failing all of them. So I only just passed these classes. But thank God for automatic cameras because they have solved most of my issues. But yeah, it's nice to have photos at your fingertips. It's nice that there's photographers that are generous to allow you use them as reference, whether it's, you know, a photo sharing site and they give you permission, or just that you can purchase them from photographers. You wouldn't find that back in the day. I mean, that I wouldn't have known where to find it. But now with the internet, excuse me, now with the internet you can pretty much find anything, and even finding videos, a lot of times, here's a little hint for you, I'll look at videos of, say, I don't know, a whale swimming through the water, and I'll watch those videos and draw from them, like maybe take a screenshot of a pose. I mean, I've never gone scuba diving to get those kind of reference of how their body moves through the water, what the angles of their tails and the angles of their fins, and just how they twist and turn. And I'll never have that opportunity, but if I really wanted to draw a whale, that's the only way I can do it. You really always need a reference photo. Anybody that tells you that artists make everything up out of their heads, and that is a common misconception with people who don't do art. They think that everything just pops out of our heads. It doesn't. We really do need to use reference photos so that we know what things look like. Otherwise, it's not going to be right. So whether we work from photos or work from life, or a combination of the two, which generally I think most of us use a combination of the two, the more you draw a subject, the better you will understand what it looks like, an animal's anatomy, or what a flower looks like, or how the light plays upon the shadows on the grass from trees and clouds. But you still need to observe. It's the most important thing. You have to observe. So yeah, this video is kind of going a little bit all over the place, isn't it? But I would love to know maybe what you might be interested in hearing about, whether it is Gourd pyrography or the business side of things, which I can just kind of tell you how I do things, and I can't guarantee you a make $1 million in a year kind of thing, because that's not me. But I think my business philosophy is a little bit more like, do what keeps you sane. I find art to be kind of a therapy. If I'm not doing art, I get really crabby. I need to be working on something every day. I don't know what that's about. Are any of you like that? Do you feel the need to be working on a piece of artwork, whether it's drawing or painting or cake decorating, something? Are you a writer? I know there's a lot of writers out there. I am not a writer, though I've done some writing, just personal journaling type things, but I could never, well, I shouldn't say I could never. I could if I really put my mind to it. I think anybody could do what they enjoy doing. That's the thing. I don't think I've enjoyed writing enough to put my mind to it. And I think that's the way it is with art, with anything. You have to enjoy doing it enough to push through your inexperienced and ugly failures to continue to work at it. Because let me tell you, I was always liked doing art. That doesn't mean I was always good at it. And I still feel like I'm not that good at it. Even when everybody tells me that I am, I feel like still have so much to learn and so much to practice. I know that there's been great improvement because I don't draw like I used to draw. I don't even burn on gourds the way I used to burn on gourds. I don't paint the way I used to paint. I know I've improved in my observational skills. So, I mean, all these things come in time, but you have to enjoy doing it enough so that when you're really bad at it, and really unskilled at it, I should say, you still want to do it. So writing is one of those things that unskilled and don't want to push through to do better at it, I guess. I don't have enough ideas that I think are worthwhile to put into writing. But I have lots of ideas for artwork and not enough time. Not enough time for everything. Well, I'm going to continue working on this gourd, and I'm not going to finish it in one sitting. So I'll invite you to come back and you can see the rest another time. Actually, what I think I might do is when I am done with this, I'm going to put it on my website. I'll probably do a blog post, and then you can see the finished butterfly. I think I'm just going to stop here with the video and not ramble on too much longer. I'd love to hear from you. Whatever you want to share, whatever maybe you'd like to see in a future video, if there's a topic that you'd like to discuss, or a gourd technique, or another kind of art technique that you would like to explore with me. Maybe even a challenge. Hey, that might be fun. Do some kind of a challenge. Yeah, just leave me a comment. Let's actually make this into a real community and not just a one-way conversation. Because I think that would be most beneficial for everyone. I really enjoy sharing what I was doing with you today, and I enjoyed having this little chat about basically whatever popped into my head. So I hope you enjoyed it. If this turns out to be a terrible video, then I guess that's okay too, because I can learn from my mistakes. And yeah. So anyway, by the time I have this online, I should probably have this gourd done, and I will put a link below for you to see what it looks like finished. And yeah, and then if you want, while you're there, you can check out how to sign up for my newsletter, because that is on my website. And you can check out my classes if you're interested in that too. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So I hope you have a wonderful time working on your artwork and exploring different things. and I hope you all have a gourd day. Thanks for watching.